Hey everyone, you're with Tesla Tom. Thanks for joining us on Ludicrous Feed today. I just wanted to share with you some good news from an article I came across today, which said that the New South Wales Government is setting aside $55 million to help the state transition from generating our sources of energy from coal to a more renewable source of energy. Apparently, as of October 29, New South Wales had 20,000 megawatts of generation capacity either approved or seeking approval, of which half of that is from solar, and the rest coming from wind and the hydroelectric scheme in our snowy mountains, and only a small percentage is coming from upgrading a current coal fire station. In addition, there are going to be 8 large-scale battery farms, all with solar farms adjacent, and accumulating more than 400 megawatt hours of capacity. And that's very good news because all that solar needs to be stored for use at night time. This all comes from the New South Wales Government's Emerging Energy Program, aimed at supporting this transition towards renewable sources of energy. This is all very pleasing for me, and I'm very glad that the state politicians in New South Wales are finally starting to take responsibility for our future. Just a few more graphs I wanted to show you before I finish off. Have a look at this graph here from South Australia, which shows how much rooftop solar is affecting the grid demand here during the day. As you can see, that yellow part of the graph represents the contribution made by rooftop solar in South Australia, which makes the demand for the grid energy go down during daylight hours. And you know what? We should really try to emulate what's happening in South Australia here in New South Wales. And with the use of battery technology, we could certainly even reduce that blue portion of that graph even more during non-daylight hours. South Australia has the greatest uptake of rooftop solar apparently in Australia, with 31% of South Australians having solar PV panels on their roof. And heading back to my state of New South Wales, this graph shows a projection of what our government thinks our energy mix is going to look like in the coming years. On the left-hand side of the graph, in 2018 to 2019, a large majority of our energy mix currently comes from coal. Not much is coming from solar or utility storage, which is battery. And hopefully the government's projection will be correct, because if all things go well, as time goes on, there will be less and less coal production contributing to our energy requirements here in New South Wales. And conversely, there'll be more and more solar, which is depicted by the yellow parts of the graph. The light yellow is rooftop PV panels, and then the darker yellow is utility solar, which I assume is solar farms. There'll be more and more purple portions as well, which is the battery storage. If you add up all the yellow and the purple bits, that's basically 60 to 70% of energy generation in coming years, and then the rest will be made up by renewable sources as well, like wind, and hydro, of course. This is what we have here in New South Wales, the hydroelectric scheme in our snowy mountains. So hopefully by 2039 to 40, this graph will be realized, where more than 80 to 90% of our energy sources will be renewable, with only a small portion coming from coal. Alright guys, well, hope you enjoyed that video. Just a little bit of good news, like I said, coming from New South Wales, my home state, that at least our politicians or our bureaucrats are thinking about some sort of plan moving forward into the future, just to help our state, generate energy more from renewable sources rather than always relying on coal fire stations, which honestly is very backward thinking. So we really need to utilize the sun and wind a lot more moving forward. Alright guys, hope it's a lovely day wherever you are in this world, and as always, happy charging. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of the energy revolution. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos. If you're about to buy a Tesla, use my promo code Thomas7208 to score 6 months of free supercharging. Happy charging!